All right, let's get right into it. We've all had that moment, right? That horrible sound from your car that just makes your stomach drop. You know, having a good emergency kit in your trunk is what separates a minor inconvenience from a full-blown crisis. But there are so many out there, so which one actually gets the job done? Well, today we're putting two of the most popular kits head-to-head to find out. This quote from reviewer Nick Anderson just hits it perfectly, doesn't it? That sudden, heavy silence when everything just stops. That's the moment of truth. It's when you find out just how prepared, or maybe how unprepared, you really are. And that's exactly what this is all about, being ready for that moment. So the two kits we're looking at today are really different. And I don't just mean they have different tools. They actually represent two totally different philosophies on what it means to be safe on the road. So in one corner, you've got the Everlet Survival Kit. You can think of this one as the do-it-yourself champion. It's all about giving you the power and the tools to fix the problem on your own. Plus, it has some seriously good medical gear. And in the other corner, you have the 142-piece roadside kit. Its whole game is about assistance and visibility, making sure other drivers see you and that you have what you need for someone else to help you. Okay, so philosophies are nice, but how do these kits actually perform when you're stranded on the side of the road? Let's throw them into a few of the most common roadside emergencies and see which one really comes through when it counts. First up, the flat tire. I mean, let's be real, this is probably the #1 most common problem any of us are ever going to face on the road. So how do our two contenders handle it? And boom, right out of the gate, there is a huge difference. The Everlet kit comes with a digital air compressor. That's an active tool, something that actually solves the problem. The 142-piece kit, it gives you a pressure gauge, so you can confirm that yes, your tire is indeed flat, but you can't do a single thing about it. And this compressor is no joke. In the tests, it performed like a champ. You literally just dial in the PSI you need, push a button, and it inflates the tire, and then shuts itself off. For anyone who isn't a mechanic, that is a massive feature. It takes all the guesswork out of it. And in just 6 minutes, you're good to go. All right, on to our next roadside classic, the dead battery. Oh, that dreaded click, click, click instead of the engine turning over. Let's see what the kits have for us here. Now, the Everlet kit includes 12-foot, 8-gauge jumper cables. And that number, 12 feet, might not sound like a big deal, but trust me, it is. And here's why that length is so critical. A lot of cheaper kits give you dinky 8-foot cables, but imagine you're stuck on a really narrow shoulder with a guardrail right next to you. You can't always get the other car parked perfectly nose to nose. Like the reviewer said, those extra 4 feet of cable can literally be the difference between getting a jump and having to call a tow truck. Plus, they're thick 8-gauge cables, which means more power gets through for a faster, better jump. Okay, so fixing the car is one thing, but what about the single biggest danger when you're stranded? Other cars. Other drivers. So let's see how our kits stack up when it comes to making sure you're visible and safe, especially at night. And this is where that whole different philosophies thing really comes into focus. The 142-piece kit is without a doubt the winner here. I mean, it's not even close. You get a reflective triangle, a high-vis vest, even a headlamp to see and be seen. It's designed to make you impossible to miss. The Everlet kit, on the other hand, really drops the ball here. All you get are some basic glow sticks and a flashlight. This is a huge, huge win for the 142-piece kit. So here's the ultimate cheat sheet, the reviewer's summary table that lays it all out. You can see the trade-offs clear as day. The Everlet kit absolutely dominates when it comes to power and medical gear with that amazing compressor and trauma-grade first aid. But the 142-piece kit is the king of visibility and gives you a wider array of basic tools. But, these are just the specs. The real question is, how does this stuff actually hold up under pressure? So the reviewer, Nick Anderson, did something pretty smart. He put these kits through 2 real-world stress tests to see how they perform when things get cold, complicated, and, well, stressful. First up was the winter trunk test. He basically simulated leaving these kits in a freezing cold car to see what would happen. And second was the helpful stranger test, which was designed to see which kit is actually more useful when a good Samaritan pulls over to help you out. And the results from the freezer test were really telling. The most important parts of the Everlet kit, the compressor and those long jumper cables, worked perfectly. The cables stayed nice and flexible. They didn't get all stiff and brittle like cheap ones do. In the 142-piece kit, some of the less important plastic bits felt a little fragile after the deep freeze, but the critical stuff, like the toe strap and the reflective triangle, were totally fine. Now, the helpful stranger test is what really highlights the purpose of each kit. If a helpful person pulls over, but they don't have any gear, the 142-piece kit is perfect. You can just hand them the tow strap or the multi-tool. The Everlit kit, though, is built for you to be the hero of your own story. You don't need to hand anything to anyone because the compressor and the cables give you the power to solve the problem yourself.
So, after all the battles, all the tests, what's the bottom line?
Well, it's pretty clear that there isn't one single best kit. The right choice really depends on you and what you need. So after all of that, which one is it? Which kit is the winner? Which one should you put in your trunk? For the reviewer, the choice for his own family was the Everlit Survival Kit. And why? Simple. That digital compressor solves the single most likely problem you're going to have, and it does it for you. Those pro-grade jumper cables are just a massive bonus. But here's his key piece of advice. Spend an extra $15 and buy a separate reflective triangle. That way, you've patched the Everlit's only major weakness. But hold on, there's another winner. For the person who's a little more hands-on, or maybe you already have a portable air pump you love, the 142-piece kit is an incredible bargain. You're getting fantastic visibility gear, a decent set of tools, and a tow strap. It's the perfect foundation to build your own custom kit around. At the end of the day, being prepared isn't about buying the most expensive thing. It's about buying the right thing for you. Do you want to be self-sufficient, or do you want a kit that helps other people help you? So after seeing all this, you got to ask yourself, what's actually in my trunk right now? And is it ready for that sudden, heavy silence on the side of the road?